That was another hot day in southern Oregon and northern California. Primarily, temperatures were into the 90s. 95 for Medford was the high temperature, 99 in Montague, 90s out towards the east, except for Lakeview at 88, 73 in Brookings. So again, we didn't make it up to 100 degrees today, but that is actually in the forecast, maybe on Sunday, and then again as we get towards the end of the week. So when are we expecting to really see the end on average in terms of 100 degree days? Well, if you go back 110 years in data, tomorrow, 8/20, August 20th is the last day on average when we see 100 degrees in Medford. If you're looking for the on average last day we see 95 degrees, we're going to have to wait about 3 weeks and then about a month before we finally see the end of 90 degree weather, at least in terms of, again, the long-term average. This doesn't mean that it's going to stop on September 24th altogether, but it kind of gives you an idea that we're in the dwindling days of summer, at least in terms of the dog days of summer, if you will. Those are starting to finally subside in terms of the real hot temperatures. Now, I'm speaking of hot temperatures, that's helping diffuse some thunderstorms up by Chemult. In fact, we'll zoom in a little bit here, and there's a pretty strong northwesterly flow, and you can see that there's pretty good anvil. In fact, that was actually picked up by radar, and they're not really lasting very long because there's too much wind, and too much wind shear kind of kills thunderstorms out in that particular sense. So way off here in the west, there's the pretty decent looking storm off the west coast, and this is actually racing towards the east, and this is going to increase high pressure here in the next couple of days, which will also increase the wind as that approaches, but that won't move through until it gets to about Monday. But by Sunday, ahead of it, we'll start seeing a little bit more of the way of blustery winds east of the Cascades. In the meantime, we have the haze that's currently on hand right now, and we'll see this as we go through the overnight hours, but by the time we get to tomorrow, we'll see a little bit more of a wind shift. We should see a little bit of relief, at least from the smoke and haze in southern Oregon and parts of northern California. So again, there is that system way off the west coast here. We get towards Sunday morning. This actually pushes up towards the north and the east. In fact, the center, roughly about midnight Sunday night into Monday, is right off the Washington coast. That pushes off towards the north and the east, and Monday will actually be pleasantly cool, at least in terms of August standards. Now again, here's one more time. We'll look at that system. Again, it pushes off towards the north and the east. High pressure rebuilds for the middle part of the week. So again, it's going to get pretty hot about Wednesday and Thursday of next week. A latter part of the week, we'll have a weak system move through. There's some discrepancy in terms of how far north this system will move by the time we get to the end of the week. And then once we get into early next week, it'll be kind of interesting to see if this particular jet stream map actually pans out, because that would be a very strong jet stream for this time of year. Now we go into looking at a different particular model, and it's showing roughly the same kind of scenario, except once we get towards the end of next week, it'll be a weak system moving through, and then it warms up right after that. So tonight we're looking at a forecast low of 60 degrees in Medford, 56 in Brookings, 59 for Mount Shasta, 97 for Medford for tomorrow, 73 for Crater Lake, and 96 forecast high for Mount Shasta. So here's your forecast for the coast. Temperatures cooling off Sunday and into Monday into the 60s, and then temperatures coming back up into the 70s after that. Northern California, upper 90s for the weekend, cooling off rather nicely on Monday, and then it warms back up and gets to about 100 degrees by the end of the week. For Klamath Basin, mid to high 90s for the weekend. You cool off again on Monday, and then temperatures climb back up into the mid and upper 90s by the middle and end of next week. And for the mountains, again, you're still looking dry for the next several days, not really seeing any thunderstorm threat past today, but you cool off into the upper 70s, at least the low 80s by Monday, and then temperatures climbing back up to around 90 by the end of the week. And for the Rogue Valley, again, very hot for the weekend, right around 100 degrees by Sunday, cooling off by Monday, and then temperatures come right back up again to about 100 degrees by Wednesday and Thursday.